One of the top attributes which are required for a human being to achieve success and to accomplish anything in their life is nothing but focus besides other attributes. Focus is the main necessary thing in everyone, among every human being to achieve anything in their life. But surprisingly and as well as shockingly, in the modern world, the human beings are showing less attention and less focus, where I'm going to share with you different scientific facts and statistics around the globe which really need to be focused on to enhance our focus to achieve and accomplish anything in our life, to live a successful life. Welcome to Pioneer Prosperity Movement. So this is one other episode in my podcast. Of course, this is the name of the podcast, as you all know by now. So Pioneer Prosperity Movement. I am Maddi in front of you. So today's topic is around mostly about focus. Because to achieve and accomplish anything in our life, one of the top attribute is nothing but focus. Without having a focus, then you will not be in a position to pay attention, concentrate, and to do it consistently and get committed towards doing anything in our life, right? So at the same time here, in the recent modern world, we can't blame anyone here, but in the recent modern world, how many people are having that kind of focus to do anything for a longer period of time? Because when we talk about focus, when we talk about success is nothing but success is not a destination. It is a process. It is a process of doing what is aligned to a person to do it for a longer period of time. It is not going to be like an overnight switch when we say about success. When we are creating something, when we are designing something, or when we are building something towards, say, for example, a freedom of life, or towards achieving or accomplish any aspect of our life, towards your goal or towards your vision, it's all nothing but it's not going to happen in overnight. Rather, it's going to be a process which might stretch depending on the goal or a vision. It might stretch for a 1 year or 2 year or 5 year or 10 year, 20 year. So it's a long time process. It is not an overnight when we talk about success. At the same time, how many of them are having that focus to do it, execute it consistently with their fullest concentration in that period of time, knowing it is a long time process, is a big question here. That is why, as you can say, around in the globe, not many people around the globe are being successful here. The success rate is ranging from 2 to 5% of global population are only succeeding in what they are aligning with, whereas the remaining percent of people are not at all succeeding. Is the reason because of lack of focus in whatever they are doing. Surprising, right? And also shocking, right? So that is why here I'm going to bring in the various scientific facts and statistics in front of you to share it with you, that we must know, and also we must pass it on, and we must pay attention as a parent. Me as a parent, I must know. Why? The reason because I can pass it on, or I can focus on my kids' life as well. So I can just give us some sort of related values to my kids to enhance their focus. Being a parent, being a responsible parent, where I must take the responsibility not only to apply that in my life, but also being a parent to apply that into my kids. And along the way, I came across and I studied so many things which related to that. And also at the same time, even in my life, in my past, I even got a little bit of a problem with my attention span. And I even lost focus. By means of that, I ended up in doing so many number of things. And people call it as multitasking. Yes, there are difference of opinion between single tasking and multitasking. I ended up in doing so many number of things. The reason because of lack of focus and to pay attention on one single thing. Rather, I got distracted by so many number of things. Whenever there is a shiny things, I get distracted here and there. And by means of that, what happens is, in the long run, it might be pleasurable, it might be fruitful for a short period of time. Whereas the question is it going to be productive? It is not. In a long period of time, doing a multitasking is not going to be productive at all. You might end up in doing so many things, but in a long time, it is not going to be productive. So that's a different sort of topic. We'll talk about it later. But getting back to the topic here, the focus, yes, back in my life, I was having a little bit of, definitely, not a little bit, I would say, I should admit it here. Why not? Self-acceptance is the most important thing that we must learn. We can learn from ourselves. Yes, I had a bit of issue with my focus and my attention, whereas at the same time, I practiced self-awareness. I accepted myself. I acknowledged, and by means of that, I apologized myself, and by means of that, I just did some strategy to enhance my focus, enhance my attention span. That is why I'm here to take an opportunity for you to share it with you as well. Why not? Because when I know something, I'm here to give it to you guys as well. So get back to the topic, focus. In the modern world, of course, you may or may not know that every now and then, we are getting distracted. Do you agree with that? Yes, we all must agree with that. The reason because that is why unknowingly we let ourselves to get distracted by loads of external noises. Isn't it? Yes, definitely. That is why I'm brought in the scientific fact and as well as the various statistics in front of you to prove it as an evidence. And first of all, what is this focus? And how this focus is going to affect our growth, the progress, and the success is nothing but focus is nothing but the elevated version of an attention. That's it. It's an elevated version of an attention. And wherever the focus goes, the energy flows. Wherever the energy flows, that's what we become. Got it? So if you are so much distracted with so much of external noises, then our energy flows towards that area. It might be pleasurable to short extent, but in a longer term, in a longer aspect, it's not going to be productive at all. So in that case, do we progress? Do we succeed? Do we grow? No. That is why many people around the globe, 95% of the population are drifting around, whereas only 2 to 5% of population are succeeding in their life. Those who are having a greater attention span are those who can able to focus for a longer period of time consistently, and by means of commitment with their action is the one who is achieving success, who is progressing and who is growing gradually. Because why I'm saying gradually, knowing that it is a long time. It takes a long time. It might take a long time. It is because it is a process. It is not going to be overnight. So let's bring in some scientific fact here. So recently I came across one of the article published by Judah in December 2022. It is an article where he has reviewed the literature of different statistics, around 31 statistics around the globe. He has reviewed 31 statistics around the globe. And based on the different statistics around the globe, he brought in this. I've just written it because I should not be playing with the numbers, right? That's what the reason that I written that here specifically, where number one shocking statistics, which I'm going to share with you, that the average attention span of a person is only 8.25 seconds. That's it. Not minutes. I'm talking about 8.25 seconds. And that too, the average attention span varies between 2 seconds. Think about it. 2 seconds to some minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. What's happening here? And that too, it varies, depends on the age. That too here, you must pay attention, guys. You must pay attention with shockingly, between the age of 5 to 24 years, there is so much of lack of attention. You know why? The reason because of the recent modern world, modern technology, where the mobile or any sort of technologies very soon will be introduced to the child. And by means of that, They couldn't able to focus. Yes, of course. They also found out that in other side that they can able to do multitasking. I already mentioned to you earlier that multitasking will make you to do different things, but it will not make you to be productive in a long run. So in that way, it can improve by introducing a mobile technology or a modern digital technology. It can improve the multitasking. But is it going to be productive? Is that child or is going to be successful in his life or her life is a big question. On the other hand, because of the introduction of digital technology, too much of digital technology and too much of mobile technology into the kids in the early stage, it is affecting their attention span. And that too, recently, there's one other statistics proving that between the child to the teenage, the attention span is lacking between 1.8 to 2.3 seconds. I repeat it, guys. Make a note. 1.8 to 2.3 seconds. It is a study which is done around the globe. This is very, very shocking, right? And that too, they have done a very global study among 2,000 participants in one of the Canadian institute, and they have done the study based on electroencephalogram. It is one of the scientific study, also along with the other set of questionnaires, and they found out that between the year of 2000 to 2015, I repeat again, between the year of 2000 to 2015, the attention span has reduced to 25%. By 2000, by the year 2000, it is the average span of 12 seconds for an individual. Whereas by 2015, it has reduced to only 8 seconds. Shocking, right? Why I'm saying all this? Because being a network marketer here, when I've been introduced to the network marketing, because I came into the network marketing without any experience. When I came into the network marketing, yes, of course, we'll be doing some video ads and all the other things like reels and all the other things like that. And we have been told to create a video or any sort of reels, and to make sure every 2 to 3 seconds to change the shot, to change the camera angle, or to change anything in the video. Then it make me a question that why there is a need to change the camera angle or any kind of position of the angle, anything like that. Why? Then it was given to me answer that yes, because once after 2 seconds, once after 3 seconds, the people who are watching on the other side will get bored. What? In 2 to 3 seconds, a person is getting bored. It means what? They couldn't able to focus and keep on watching any video, anything beyond 2 to 3 seconds. It means that much our attention span is reduced. So we coming to a conclusion immediately that it's boring, just move on. It's just boring, it's move on. And on an average aspect in the mobile technology, in the mobile world, every reel has been watched only for 3 to 4 seconds, not more than 3 to 4, not more than even 3 seconds. And that is a significant percent as well that I'm not bringing into here. It is really shocking, guys. It is really shocking. Why I'm saying this? Because if a person can't able to pay an attention for not more than 3 seconds in your video, even though the video comes with so much of values behind, whether there is a value or not, if a person can't watch more than 3 seconds, and for every 3 seconds we must change the camera angle, the shot, or anything, or sound, or anything like that, it means how far the person can pay and focus and attention towards anything in their life is a big question, right? Is it or not? Yes, of course. Because when they can't pay more attention, when they can't pay more focus on whatever they do, gradually what happens? They can't be consistent. They can't be committed towards whatever they are doing. And eventually they can't be successful in their life. And that is what's happening in the modern world here. Many people are ending up with getting stressed, anxiety, and all those related mental disorders develop in their life as well because of lack of attention, which leads to lack of focus. As I said before, focus is nothing but the elevated version of attention, which affects their concentration, which affects their consistency, and which affects their commitment towards whatever they're doing in their life. And eventually it affects their productivity as well. So knowing these numbers, knowing these numbers, what we are going to do for our generation. And also one of the studies, I'm going to bring it to you here. The humans, make a note about this. The humans are having a shorter attention span than goldfish. Goldfish has an attention span of 9 seconds, whereas the average human being's attention span is only 8 seconds, 8.25 seconds. That much it has been reduced. And also, 1 in every 4 teens forgetting the name of the individual, other person. It seems like people are saying, yeah, it's very common to forget the name. It is not common. It has been told and believed to be remain average. And same like that, 1 in every 10 adults are forgetting the events or their birthday dates or something like that. Even I can relate it to it. Back in when there is no mobile technology, when there is not even a pager, I would say 20 years, no, even more than that, 25 years back, I used to remember almost more than 200 phone numbers. I remember definitely. I can know that. Because my father used to maintain a diary, and along with him, I used to sit and talk to him. We used to talk, and whenever he just seek for reference in the diary, I'll just shoot the number just straight away like that. How many of you can resonate to it? 20 years back, 25 years back. Those who are in 40 plus can able to resonate with it, right? And nowadays, how many of you can remember more than 5 numbers, 5 mobile numbers or 5 landline numbers? How many of you can remember more than 5 numbers? You can't. Right? Why? The reason because of the lack of focus and lack of attention. And that leads to lack of memory too. That is why 1 in every 10 adults around the globe are forgetting their main events or main informations or related to the birthday, anything they are forgetting. Quite shocking, right? At the same time, gender-wise, women is having a significant more attention than men. Another fact, of course, that's because of the hormonal regulations, different sort of hormonal regulations inside the body as well. So I'm not gender biasing here, so don't take it to that extent. Whereas, according to the statistics, women is having a more attention span when compared to the men. I'm not gender biasing, but it is according to the fact. And that is why, if you can see that in many aspects in many areas of the field, women is standing out now when compared to men. And even in my network marketing also, most of them are women because it is a long process. Right? Okay, getting back to the topic here. Women is having a greater attention span than men. I'm not gender biasing. It's according to the scientific fact and statistics. Keep that in mind. And here, to enhance this, because multitasking, guys, if you are saying multitasking is good, no. It might look good for a short period of time, but for a longer period of time, just a minute. For a longer period of time, multitasking is not going to be productive. So do not ever initiate multitasking for your kids or even for yourself. Do not ever be involved in doing so many things on one time. It might look good for a short period of time, but for a long period of time, after 5 years or after 10 years, when you look back, then you realize how much of time you have wasted. The reason why I'm saying this, because yes, in my past life also, I used to do so many number of things. I take the responsibility of different things when it is given back to me. I don't say no. Rather, I accept it and I do. But I proudly say that, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can do that. And by means of that, I accept so many things. And then afterwards, I was doing. But in a longer line, once after, like exactly in a certain place, when I was working back in one of the university, I found myself that in 2 years time and in 3 years time, I found myself that the work is getting piled up. Then I started realizing that, no, that is not the way, right? So it means that I'm just telling about my own experience. Then I found out that accepting and doing so many things doesn't mean that you're productive. That is what many people are having a misunderstanding, that being busy is being productive. No, not at all. If you keep doing so many things, it doesn't mean that you're productive. Being busy is not productive. Just keep it in mind. Keep being moving around or keeping yourself busy doesn't mean that you're productive. Keeping yourself busy means you are doing so many number of things which may or may not be aligned to you, but it is not going to be succeed. It is not going to make you progress or grow or succeed in our life. That is why I always shared with you that don't be an human doing by doing so many number of things. By keeping yourself busy, you end up in becoming human doing, but you can't be human being to live an extraordinary life. Yes, back in my past, yes, I was just a human doing, but I realized, I accepted, and by means of self-discipline practice, and now I'm progressing by becoming a human being, because I determined myself to be productive by focus on one thing. That is what I'm going to share with you here. There are 4 things that you need to, there are 4 strategies, I should say, that I'm going to share with you about focus to enhance your productivity and to enhance your growth, progress, and success in your life, to become that 2 to 5%, not to just remain average as a 95%, but to become that successes as 2 to 5%. There are 4 strategies that you must consider in your life towards focus. Number 1, focus on yourself first. I know that you might be working hard on your job. Yes, I know that, but at the same time, work hard on yourself. That will come by means of self-love. Focus on yourself first. Focus on yourself towards your spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional growth. Many of the people are here focusing too much on their financial aspect by forgetting all these 4 aspects. And that is why they end up in getting busy and they end up in saying, I don't have time. The reason because they misbalance in their life and they are paying more attention on their work, on their job, or on their business, but at the same time they're having a lack of time to focus on themselves towards spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional aspect. Got what I mean? So for our life to grow or progress and succeed, and also to create and stay wealthy, one must be balanced and one must be having focus on all these 5 areas: spiritual, mental, physical, emotional, and as well as financial aspect towards themselves. So focus on yourself first. Focus on yourself. Work hard on yourself. So focus on yourself, number 1. And number 2, focus on one thing. As I shared before, do not focus on so many things. Do not end up in doing so many multitasking. When I say focus on one thing, you must learn yourself to learn to say no. Because we are living in a modern world to accept so many things. We are living in a world that to say yes to say everything, and which end up in getting distracted. The moment I shifted from that person to now, I have only less choices. By means of having a less choice, so that I can pay all my attention, all my focus for the past 2 years, and I can exponentially obviously see that my life is growing and progressing towards where I exactly want to become. What I mean? So focus on that one thing that you're after. Prioritize what you are after. Do not having so many priorities. Have that one topmost priority and do that one thing in the morning. The first one thing in the morning. Whichever is the top priority, do that one thing in the morning. Don't keep it at the end of the day. When we keep it at the end of the day, which leads to mental fatigue, with that mental fatigue, we come back, and when we do it, we don't execute with our fullest potential. So focus on yourself, focus on that one thing, and learn to say no whatever is not aligned with you. Whatever is aligned to you, just focus on that one thing. Alright? So avoid multitasking. It is not going to take you anywhere. Rather, it will make you to become human doing, not to live life extraordinarily as a human being. I'm telling you. And number 3, focus on what you can control. This is the most important thing, which is so much applicable in this digital technology, in this information world, because unknowingly we give permission to ourselves, we give permission to the world to to distract us by means of so much of information, by means of so much of external noises. We let ourselves, we just give permission to for the external world to distract and to disturb us at all the aspects, through by means of media, through by means of mobile, and through by means of the articles, anything like that. And what happens? We live in a modern world with so much of information diarrhea, as said by Sadhguru. And by means of having so much of informations, people say that, I just have that information, that's it, it's not going to disturb me. No. Whatever the information that goes into through the hearing, through the physical senses, one of the physical senses is hearing, or through by means of visualizing, whatever it goes inside and whatever we eat, everything counts. We are giving permission, right? Ourselves to the modern world, to the external world, right? And by means of whatever it goes inside, and by means of that, it is going to affect our subconscious ability. Because the subconscious mind doesn't know whether it's good or bad. The rational mind knows, but the subconscious mind doesn't know. But the subconscious ability is the one which is going to make yourself to do the things with your complete potential. Or otherwise, people end up in doing the things with a lack of focus, lack of attention, lack of concentration, lack of consistency, and they end up in doing the things only with their 40% of potential. And that is why people are doing so many things, not that one thing with 100% of potential. Got what I mean? And that is why people are having a lack of focus too. More and more a person is becoming mediocre. More and more is person getting disturbed with so much of information from the external noises. They're getting distracted. When they get distracted, they end up in getting a lack of focus. When they're having a lack of focus, they end up in doing the things with a lack of potential, for only with a 40% of potential, and they end up in doing so many number of things, so called as multitasking, and they are not becoming productive. They are just drifting around, but they are not succeeding in their life. And that is why they end up in saying, I don't have time. Got it? You got it. So whereas focus only on what you can control. Review where you are spending your time. Do not spend majority of your time on minor things. I stopped when you talk to me about me, like when I say about myself, I stopped watching news or any media for the past, I would say most probably for the past nearly 3 years. I stopped watching news, and I stopped watching TV completely for the past 2 years, and I stopped watching any other disturbing news or anything like that, even in social media, for the past 5 years. Social media is absolutely beautiful, but it depends on how we are using it. I repeat again, social media, if you say Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, anything is absolutely beautiful, but it depends on how we use it. Are we using it to distract us, or are we using it to become productive? It all depends on how we focus. Whether we focus on what we can control to become productive, or we are just focusing on what we can't control to get distracted. Got it? You can relate it, right? So what you focus on. Focus only on what you can control. By means of knowing the weather, whether it is going to be sunny or rainy or blah, 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 it's nature. We can't control the nature. So what is the point of getting up early in the morning and knowing what is the weather? Or what is the point of knowing about what is happening on the other side of the world? Are you going to control that? No, it's just information. It's just going to be, what is that? Some people say that, I forgot the exact word for it. General knowledge. All right. But how far that general knowledge is going to be more productive in your life, on your day-to-day life? Have you ever thought about it? No, right? So what's the point of spending our focus? Because wherever the focus goes, our energy flows. And that is what we are becoming. And moreover, the current media, the current news is more portraying for their, what is called the TRP rate, about what? About negativity. When we keep on seeing the negativity, we develop negative thoughts. Whatever the thoughts that we are having, our feeling, our emotions, our actions, and the results will become the same. So focus only on what you can control. What you can control is you. So focus only on yourself first. What you can control is around yourself, the people around you, the people who you're in love with, or people you are taking care of, your kids, your family. Focus on them. and be more productive. And the last but not the least, focus on what exactly you are after. Yes, focus on what you want. You must know what exactly you want. If you don't know what exactly you want, then that is why, again, many people are drifting around so many things by looking, oh, that is nice, oh, that looks good, that is so shiny, that is so polished, blah, blah, blah. And they end up in getting distracted with so many shiny things, shiny ball syndrome, because they don't know what they want. They don't know what exactly they want. This looks good to me. Oh, wow, that is more discount than this. Can you relate to that, right? So focus on what exactly you want. You must know, first of all, one must know, first of all, what they want in their life, specifically in detail. If you think about financially, how much I must earn in my life just to survive, or just enough to pay the bills, or to live extraordinarily and to give more to the society, to the community. I must earn to the minimum of $10,000 per month, or $50,000 per month, or $100,000 per month. What exactly you are, what number you are exactly after in your life. Okay, now I'm earning $5,000 per month, but in a long time, in your 5 years time or in 10 years time, that is not going to be enough. Because the cost of living is increasing, the fuel price is increasing, there is going to be a huge economic gap that is not going to benefit me, or either it's not going to benefit my generation, where I end up in living only budgeted life. Rather, in 2 years time, or by the end of this year, I should be in a position to earn minimum of 10K per month. Have a specific number. When you have that specific number, then you have a vision. Or otherwise, we end up in blindly focusing, I want more money. That is not going to take us anywhere, because we are not focusing on what exactly we are after. When we give that kind of compelling vision, that is where our mind is going to get tuned, because we know exactly what we are after. Specific vision. Specifically, we know that specificity is going to drive us, and also the purpose behind it is going to drive us towards where exactly you're after. It's similar like if you're going to drive, of course, I'm living in Melbourne at the moment. If I'm going to drive from here to Sydney, if I'm going to drive, then I should know the destination. Without knowing the destination, I'll be drifting around. Then I should know that, say, for example, if I'm going to go somewhere, then I should know where exactly I'm going. If I'm going to Sydney, for example, as I said before, I should know which route exactly I'm going. If I don't know the destination, then I'll end up in going somewhere, drifting around, without having a destination, right? I'll end up in driving blindly wherever the path goes. That is what happening to the most of the people's life, because of the lack of focus on what exactly they want. So focus on what exactly you want in your life. And not only that, pay more attention. And how to bring up that focus, how to bring up that attention more than this 8.25 seconds. Because when you don't have a focus, as I said before, you will be having a lack of concentration, lack of consistency, lack of commitment, which leads to lack of productivity as well, right? So multitasking is not the best answer here. It is not going to make you yourself productive in the long run. Rather, enhance your focus. How? We all know this answer. We all know this answer, but we don't do it. That is why the first and foremost I share with you, focus on yourself first, right? How to enhance all this? The answer is, you know that already. It's nothing but by practicing mindfulness and meditation. Wow, no, I don't do that. Don't affirm to yourself, I'm not the kind of person who does meditation. Don't affirm to yourself. Rather, start doing mindfulness practice. Start doing meditation. Start with 30 seconds. Then afterwards progress to 1 minute. Then afterwards 2 minutes. Then afterwards 2 minutes. And then 10 minutes gradually. Every single day consistently. That is what happened to me. 2 years back, I wasn't a person who does meditation. No, I wasn't a person, guys, believe me. But now, every single day, I am doing meditation for a minimum of 20 minutes in the morning. And consistently. The reason because I was determined to start. I'm determined to progress now even. To succeed in my life. I'm not here to settle small. And recently, today morning, I listened to one of the podcasts, which I usually listen to a podcast by Bedros Julian. Those who don't know about, guys, you must watch his podcast either in YouTube or Spotify or also in Apple iTunes. He just shared this one. Average is an enemy. Success is my responsibility. I repeat again, it's a bonus point for you. Average is an enemy. Success is my responsibility. The moment I hear that sentence, the light glows into my mind. How beautiful the word sentences is, right? So I'm so grateful to Petros Kulian. If you are not watching to or listening to him, it's time to watch and listen to his podcast as well. It's in YouTube, Spotify, and also in Apple iTunes, those who are having an iPhone like me. So amazing. So enhance your focus. You can very well do it. I know that you can very well do it. Enhance your focus, enhance your attention by means of gradually starting your path towards mindfulness practice and meditation. Don't say yourself that I can't do it. You can do it. There is a sleeping giant within you. You can do it. When I can do it, you also can do it. Right? So focus on yourself. Focus on one thing. Don't do the multitasking, guys. Don't do multitasking. Focus on yourself. Focus on one thing. Focus on what you can control and focus on what exactly you want. Have a specific clarity in what exactly you want and live your life to the fullest. Let's all succeed together.